Joliet is fighting the pilot truck stop?
I didn't see that, actually. Yeah, I know that that passed a few months ago, so.
Residents are arguing about it.
I saw that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I definitely could reach out to them. I know Pilot's more of a highway, of the highway destination,
Really
so.
would have been
Yeah,
a good idea. Something to think
interested to see how that goes on.
regarding your park.
Yeah, they just passed it, I think, in the summer.
It was in the Herald.
You kind of keep in touch with different communities that are looking for economic development.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the January 7th, 2019 Crest Hill City Council meeting to order at 7 p.m. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
America. Roll call, please.
Ray Solomon.
Here.
Glenn Conklin. Scott Dyke.
Here.
John Verche.
Here.
Barbara Scolaire.
Here.
Claudia Gazal.
Here.
Tina Oberlin.
Present.
Marco Coldi-Pietro.
Here.
Nate Albert.
Here.
Tom Inman.
Okay, you have before you the minutes of the regular City Council meeting held on December 17th, 2018. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Scolaire, seconded by Alderman Coldi-Pietro. Questions or comments in regards to the minutes?
I think I had a correction. This was the one. Yes, the second page, page 142. I think the business is for, but they didn't donate them. I just wanted that clear. Funds committee purchased them.
We'll make that correction.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions or comments? To the motioner and the second with the corrections? To the motioner?
Yes.
To the second?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Marco Coldi-Pietro.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, as part of our business promotions for this evening's meeting, we have representatives from Will County Senior Services here for a presentation on a volunteer driving program. So it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you Cindy Bigger, who is the CC Director for Senior Services of Will County. And also here is Laura Daly, the President of the Board of Directors, and also Amy Hall, who is a member of the Board of Directors. So good evening, Cindy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you very much for having us this evening. So Senior Services of Will County, as you may or may not know, has been around in Will County since 1966. We were the first senior center outside of Springfield, Illinois. Since the beginning, we have kept our mission of providing assistance to seniors to live safe, healthy, and independent lives, and that continues today. Our goal is to expand our services and programs to help keep them independent and to meet the rapidly growing population needs of the seniors. We're here today to talk about our increasing need for transportation. I don't know if you're aware, but our needs are increasing, and so we've implemented a transportation program. Research shows that seniors and aging baby boomers overwhelmingly want to stay in their homes and continue to lead active and healthy and independent lives. PACE conducted a survey on behalf of Senior Services. The results showed that 40% of those surveyed did not have any type of access to a vehicle during the day. And 36% of them indicated that they rely on someone else for their transportation needs, such as family members and friends. The need in the community is here now, and we need to partner together to address how to fill the gap in all these services. What are the implications of the aging population to us and our communities? An older population presents many challenges to labor markets, government tax, government spending, and the wider economies. The population of Crest Hill in 2010, according to the Census Bureau, was 20,316. That has since increased, but I don't know the exact number till our new census. The population of Will County was 692,000. 13% of the Will County population was over 65. That's 90,000 seniors in Will County. Typically, 12% of the population is over 60, resulting in 2,500 senior citizens in Crest Hill alone. If it is estimated that 40% of seniors don't drive, that means 1,000 Crest Hill senior residents are estimated to not have access to any type of transportation. That means they don't get to their doctors, they don't get to the hospital, they don't get to their medical appointments of any kind. So let us be part of the solution together so that we can reduce this number. So how does Senior Services want to address this? We address it in 4 parts. The first part is education. We currently have systems available such as PACE, we have dial-a-ride programs, we have paratransit programs, we have Title 20, we have BEAM application services that we can give to seniors information on so that they know that they can use these different services. We also have a minibus that's available. Presently, our minibus services low-income senior residences within Will County. We currently provide those services to 5 low-income senior residences. We take them to Walmart right now, a one-stop shop, and we expand that to also attend some of our educational events that we hold and have seniors attend. The third part is a senior shuttle. Our senior shuttle, which is a Medicar, to transport seniors with motorized wheelchairs. The fourth is a volunteer driving program, matching seniors needing rides with available drivers. The education portion provides more than 1 in 5 Americans who are older and do not drive with information pertaining to health, eyesight, physical, or mental resources via transportation. A 2002 American Journal of Public Health study found that women in their early 70s who stopped driving live for an average of 10 years longer, and men live an average of 6 years longer. So what happens during those years? How do they get to places? So Senior Services strives to help educate seniors on their options so they can find the right fit for them. We also, as I said, provide the minibus to transport senior housing facilities personnel to different locations. We partner with different organizations also to help bring seniors to different educational events or doctors and medical facilities. The senior shuttle we were able to purchase the Medicar, or the senior shuttle as we call it, thanks to the Joliet Rotary Club, who donated the funds, who have paid for our Medicar and also paid for some of our bus drivers' expenses. Our shuttle is able to provide transportation and additional passengers if needed because we can take 3 additional people along, so their caregiver can go with them if need be. We will be charging $2 one way. This is to encourage riders to continue taking dial-a-ride and help generate money to offset the costs that we incur. Our intentions with our Medicar is to fill gaps, not to replace services. We're encouraging townships within Will County to buy into this program through our ticket system to help get their residents the basic need rides that they otherwise wouldn't make. And tickets are being sold, and we can talk about that today too. Our volunteer driving program is our 4th and the most cost-effective for everyone. So lastly, this program will be 100% volunteer-based. 100% volunteer, their car, and their insurance. Volunteers will drive their own vehicles, be self-insured, will pass a background check, and go through an extensive training and vehicle inspection. Our riders are seniors 60 and over or adult disabled 18 to 59. This is a door-to-door service, and to ensure safety for our drivers, they do not cross the threshold. So volunteers go to the door and help the senior to the car and take them to their medical appointment and help them to the door. They do not go in or out of the household. We do all the matching. So through our portal system, we do all the matching of seniors with riders. There is nothing for any of you to do other than to help us obtain volunteer drivers. The need for volunteer driving programs. Why is there this need? The need for the volunteer driving program is straightforward. It's effective and affordable, as I mentioned before. It provides inexpensive transit to those in need, serves low-income seniors who have no transit, provide need-appropriate transportation. We can match our transportation to fit the person, whether they have a motorized vehicle or whether they have a small need or they have a walker or a cane. We can fit that to the driver. Serves rural seniors with no access to transit at all, which we have a lot here. Enables seniors to contribute to other seniors by donating a ride. Gives seniors access to all types of services. volunteer drivers can help provide long-distance medical trips. We have issues with some of our transit groups will not cross borders. So if somebody lives in Will County, but they're close to Kankakee and the doctor is across the border, they won't go. So a volunteer driver can do that. Providing senior with supplement existing transit options. So a volunteer driver program can do that. The aging population cannot be ignored. We have evaluated all the varying gaps, and we're proposing the solution is a volunteer driver program and a partnership with senior services to allow your residents access to our senior shuttle and minibus. What this means is getting more seniors to their appointments by empowering the community to step up and help. We're asking the City of Crest Hill, Mayor, and Council today is to spread the word about Senior Services Volunteer Driving Program to everyone you meet. There are countless benefits to volunteering with us, including it being a flexible opportunity. It doesn't have to be a long-term commitment. It can be 1 hour of your time. You're helping neighbors in your own community, and for every 10 rides, volunteers will be given a $25 incentive gift card. We do have to ensure the safety of our seniors, so we're requiring all volunteers be at least 21 years of age and at least have 3 years driving experience and have reliable vehicle transportation and pass the driver's license and auto insurance. And as I stated before, we go through an extensive background check. The need for the volunteer driver goes without saying. We need more volunteers to increase capacity to support the aging population. Senior Services is looking to partner with Crest Hill to help our neighbors. And what does that partnership look like? We're asking Crest Hill to help us recruit at least a minimum of 10 volunteer drivers in Crest Hill area, so we can provide a reliable alternative option for the residents that need our services. We're asking Crest Hill to consider buying a packet or two of senior shuttle tickets and sponsor a resident with a ride. Help us help you reduce the 1,000 seniors in your community that are without transportation and bring it to zero. Thank you for your consideration and your time.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I have a question,
Yes,
just
sir.
in regards to the distances.
Yes, sir.
So you will go outside of Will County.
Yes, sir, at some point. So the program, the idea of the program presently is we're starting off with Crest Hill. So we did a pilot test in November and December, basically using St. Joseph's Hospital patients and their program that they have to reduce returns to the emergency room. So we use that program as our pilot to test drivers and the process that we have in place. And then we decided to utilize Crest Hill because we have 10 drivers presently that work within Joliet and Crest Hill area. So if we could get 10 more volunteer drivers in Crest Hill, then I can communicate to the seniors that our volunteer driving program is open to the seniors in Crest Hill. We have not opened this program to the public yet. This is our initial launch. So we are launching with Crest Hill.
Okay. Well, I will open it up for council if they have any questions.
You
comments.
mentioned purchasing tickets. How does that work again?
So we have senior shuttle tickets here, and they are a packet of 20, which equals 10 rides, so round trip. So our cost for this is what we're passing along. So it's $1,500 for a packet of 20, but it buys 20 rides or 10 round trip rides for seniors. So I know that there are some townships that have bought tickets from various different organizations, and they use them to sponsor seniors who are in dire need. So that's entirely up to you as to whether you do that.
And I know Lockport Township, which about 90% of Crest Hill is in, they offer the same type of service with
They
the
offer a
rides?
similar service, so
Right.
we are not alone. So it's not gonna be all us. So we partner with PACE. Lockport Township has a senior bus that takes seniors elsewhere. Romeoville has some. A lot of your senior residences, like Willow Falls and like Senior Star
Yes.
and Grand Haven and a few others, they have their own buses to take their residents to their own appointments and so forth. So we're not really targeting the people that live in those facilities because they already have transportation available to them. We're targeting those that do not have any transportation. And like I said, it's a fourfold plan. So we want to educate them. There are a lot of seniors that are just becoming seniors that aren't even aware of the services that are already available to them. And there are about 51% of people becoming 65 utilize mass transit. So, which was surprising to me. There are a lot of seniors that come to senior services that use the PACE bus every day.
Yeah.
But a lot of them do not even know that it's available. And a lot of them don't know that it's available to them free if they qualify. So we're trying to educate them on that. Because we want to encourage them to be as independent and utilize whatever's available. But
When you say they qualify, how you know if they qualify? Is it you ask for income or?
there's an eligibility form that they have to go through. I don't know the specific details I did not bring that with me.
Okay.
But there is a form that they have to fill out, and there's an income eligibility for one, and then I know they have to meet the age requirement, obviously, and then the income eligibility, and then whether or not they're disabled too. So that has something to do with that too. So, but they can call senior services. We have a lot of people there that fill out those forms on a daily basis, information and assistance, and our office administrative personnel that can fill that out for them and have them come in with all the documentation, and we take care of it for them.
Yeah, and I give you a lot of credit because, with all the medical technology, everybody is living longer now. So,
Yes.
and we do have a very large senior population in Crest Hill. I know that there's also, when I read your newsletter that you send, there are a lot of Crest Hill residents who volunteer their time for senior services.
Yes, they
And many
do.
of the other local Will County organizations also. So I know there's a lot of people that are involved. And, I think this is a great idea that you're coming up with because we have to meet the needs of our senior population. And as I said, as they're living longer, there's more and more involvement. We have 2,500 in Caroline Lakes on itself.
Right.
And we have 3 senior 55 and older communities in Crest Hill.
Yes.
So just with those 3 alone, we are well over 3,000 individuals.
Yes.
So I know the need is there.
Yes, and we're not proposing that we're going to do it all. So we do it in partnership with townships, with PACE, with other villages that have buses, with senior residences that have buses that they're not using that day, and we're trying to work that kind of schedule out. So we have a lot of different options, and we're all partnering together. But it's going to take townships to help.
Yeah.
So, yes, ma'am.
Just, if you come to the podium, Laura, please.
Sure. So to the insurance note, if I could just add on, an important fact is that Medicare does not pay for a Medicar. So if a senior needs to get to a medical appointment and they only have Medicare, there is no options for them as far as transportation goes. That's another population that we need to target and assist because they should not be spending their savings and their additional money, we feel, and that's coming from someone who works for a transportation company. It is very important that all seniors are addressed, not just ones that are able to access it, whether or not they have public aid or an MCO plan. So that's another important population that we want to assist on and make it more affordable for them to get there. So to answer your question about the insurance part, that is a big reason why. So if you have Medicaid, you can go through a transportation broker and they could assist you, but Medicare does not have that option. So very important to know about medical appointments. Thank you.
Speaking of
That's a good point.
insurance, but just in a different, avenue, is there anything that needs to be done as far as your auto insurance if you're doing something like this on a volunteer basis?
That's actually dependent upon your insurance company. So some insurance companies will give you a rider, some of them will not. Because we do not pay them, it's not like Uber or Lyft. So if they were an Uber or Lyft driver, they're making money, so therefore they would have to have different insurance because it would be a commercial operation. But this is volunteering, 100%. So the gift cards that we're giving them is a thank you. It's not a payment for services. So therefore, most insurance companies look at it as a volunteerism and not a requirement. It would be the same as you taking your neighbor to the doctor. And you don't have to get special insurance for that.
It seems like such a very timely conversation for me. I was just talking to my neighbor the other day, and she still has her driver's license. She's 86 years old, but she doesn't feel comfortable driving anymore.
Right.
She relies on a lot of other people to take her here and there, and she feels like she's, kind of bogging down on the same people to commute, to have her take her places. So a program like this, there's definitely a lot of people that could benefit, and also not feel maybe, embarrassed or something if a senior vehicle comes up to the house and picks her up. Be more of a private vehicle.
It is, and there is an issue with embarrassment, or don't want to be a burden on my children, or don't want to be a burden on my neighbors. So you do have some of that. And so that does alleviate that, because you are calling somewhere, and, some of our volunteer, this is a new program, but we do have some volunteer drivers presently that are taking people to appointments, and we have one lady that called in today, well, can Ray come and get me? So I foresee that at some point they'll have favorite drivers and so on.
So logistically, would you just say what days you're available as a volunteer, and then you'd have?
So how this works is that a volunteer driver, if somebody decides they want to be a volunteer driver, and I provided a media package to every one of you. So on the left-hand side of your portfolio, there is a volunteer driver application. And it's a combination for our volunteers as well as the volunteer driver portion. So in case they want to volunteer elsewhere, I want to capitalize on that. So there's also a tear apart form, so you can post that up somewhere and they can tear off numbers so they can call us. And then there's some media brochures and some talking point information as well. I do have that in PDF form, so if anybody would like me to forward that, I could forward it to Heather and then she could get it to you. That way you can print out and copy or deliver to anyone you want. I'd be happy to do that. So basically the process is they fill out an application, we process the application, and we have them come in and talk to us about it, and then we put it through a background check. If everything checks out, then we have them come in for orientation and training. That generally takes a week. So turnaround time, our background check is usually a day. Once they have filled out all the forms and so forth and got it back to us. And then they tell us, so in our volunteer driver system, they tell us what days they're willing to work, what hours they're willing to work. So it's all there. And then we match the requests for rides. When the seniors call in, we put them in the system. We put what their appointment is, what time, when they need to be picked up and where. And if they have any special requirements, like if they have a walker or a cane, or if they have a non-motorized wheelchair, or if they have a motorized wheelchair, or if they weigh 400 pounds. So we don't ask them that, we just ask them if there's any special, if there's any special needs or any reason they would need a special vehicle. So once that's all done, then we match them. We just match the riders with the drivers and everybody's all happy.
Can you do that just for everything or just medical and like grocery?
Right now, we're trying to service basic needs. So we're trying to do medical, medical appointments, doctor's office, the hospital, dentist. We're trying to make sure they get there, and groceries. So we want to get them fed and we want to get them medical services. So at some point in time, I foresee us growing, possibly, depending on the amount of volunteers, possibly to taking them to activities and things, because we want to lessen isolation.
Because I take two ladies in my subdivision to do their nails and their hair, well,
I do have somebody that does in-home, just in case, so you know.
Interesting.
So we have a lot of services at Senior Service. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, so Cindy, so a disabled individual that's in a wheelchair, not every driver is going to have a vehicle that's adaptable and accessible for a wheelchair for a lift to get into the vehicle. Now, is that where your senior shuttle would come in?
Yes. So our senior shuttle would be able to handle that, yes.
Okay.
So our minibus also handles that. So when we go to senior residences, our minibus has a lift. It's just not capable of handling the motorized wheelchairs, but our shuttle is. So if we have somebody that requires the shuttle, then we would have a driver drive the shuttle.
Okay.
Is there a way that maybe even some basic information could be on the cable scroll?
Yeah.
Just I know you wouldn't be able to put lots of details, but at least something sort of basic.
Or
Right.
put it here in.
Well, and what I want to say too is that I'll go ahead and
Yeah.
post this in
Yeah.
the foyer, but if you could leave me some of these, if you have
I have a
extras.
whole bag for you.
Okay.
Heather told me that I might want to
Okay.
do that, so I brought some.
Yeah, and then
for
we'll
you to
leave
do that.
those up front too for seniors, and also this, so that this is really great to have. to
Yeah,
rip
the
off
tear-off
ones.
strips, that's why I gave
Yeah.
each one of you, because I assumed
we'll go
that
ahead
you
and
could
post
take it
this.
somewhere and post it, and.
Yeah, we'll post this in the foyer for you too,
Okay.
though.
That would be
Yeah, and we'll
great.
certainly, we can get it on our website, on the TV scroll, we can get it in the lobby, when people come in to pay their water bills and things like that. Just, we
Okay.
could do everything we can, and even this, this will be replayed, like I told you, several times over the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So there are a lot of people that do watch the city council meetings, so we'll do everything that we can from our end to help market this, because I think it is a fantastic idea.
It's the most cost-effective way to help seniors get to their appointments, is the volunteer driving program. The
Right.
second would be the shuttle.
Well,
know,
you have a
sponsoring.
couple retired people here, so they can start helping.
Only need an hour.
We're expecting everyone's applications.
That's right.
Come on, John.
As Laura said, you each have an application in your packet, so feel free.
Well, the sad thing
Hey,
is,
Tom, I
most of us
forgot
up here are old enough to,
Attend senior
utilize
services.
this,
A lot of,
service.
you'd be surprised at how many seniors are my volunteer drivers. So, quite a few, so.
Yeah, and I know those Medicares are very expensive. I mean, I work full-time, so there was no way I could get my mom to appointments. And let me tell you, those added up, and I paid for a lot of them because she just simply couldn't afford to do it.
Yeah, and so that's why we came up with the sponsor program. So I do know that, you know, there's a transfer sponsor program out of Joliet, and they provide, you know, a reduced rate for some of their seniors. So, I mean, we wanted to try to offer both scenarios. So the volunteer driver would be helpful. Everybody, you know, the more you tell people, the more it gets out. I really wanted to start and focus with Crest Hill. So if we can at least get 10 more drivers, then I can communicate that we are now opening the volunteer driver program to seniors to call for rides. So, which is what I would like to do. But I need at least 10 more drivers in order to do that from the Crest Hill area.
And in regards to your monetary donation, we can't do anything tonight because the donation is not on our agenda. But we will talk about it next Monday night at our work session, which is informal, to see if there's any interest in the city donating some money to offset some of those costs, maybe for some tickets.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Do I need to give you any additional information regarding this?
No, I think we have
You
enough
think you have?
information of
Okay.
what, if you want to leave some with Heather, you certainly can, but
Okay.
I think that, yeah, we just can't take action tonight since it's
Oh,
not
I
on the
understand.
agenda.
I understand.
I'm just still a little fuzzy on the tickets. Is it $1,200, you have to purchase $1,200, or can you split it up, or how does that work?
Well, it's $1,500 for 20 tickets.
Or 1,500, I'm sorry, that's what I was
It's
saying.
$1,500 for 20 tickets, and that really is just covering our cost.
No,
It's
I know,
the-
but is there a way to break that down?
So that's $75 a ticket is what it amounts to. So you can buy any number, we're just selling them in packets of 20, but if you wanted to buy just one round trip ride, you're more than welcome to do that.
And that's for the shuttle and the bus, that wouldn't include for the volunteer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not the volunteer program, because that's all volunteer, but it's just for the shuttle and the
So
bus.
one ticket is round trip?
No, one ticket
way.
is one way.
Okay,
So you'd have to buy two in order to do a round trip, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
okay.
Does that answer your question, Ms. Oberlin?
Well, I was more curious if you want to purchase some, but you don't have $1,500 to do that. How could you do that?
Well, you can purchase them in individual rides
That's
if
what
you want.
yeah, that's,
But I would be more apt to give a senior a round trip.
well, I
but yes.
understand that,
Not if I wouldn't give one around.
You wouldn't?
Walk back.
I'm sorry, can you
They do that to me,
clarify,
I had
so
a
you-
chance.
it's $75 to go round trip?
No, it's 50,
One way.
one way,
$75 for one way?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
$150 round trip for the tickets, for the Medicar and or the minibus. And it really just covers our costs on
Wow.
either,
So that would be like for an individual in a wheelchair?
yes.
Right, not to take somebody to the grocery store and to the bank?
No, it would be
Right.
for somebody in a wheelchair that
Right.
needs specialized.
That would need
Would need the
physical
Medicar.
therapy or something
Right,
like that,
right,
yeah.
yeah. Or to dialysis, I have a lot of dialysis patients right now.
Do you go into Chicago also?
No, sir, not presently, no. If the driver will. So that's all a part of the driver assessment. So when the driver, you know, when they're all vetted, and we determine what days and hours and where they'll go. That's the other portion. Is, you know, how far will you go? So,
Okay.
Any
Well,
other questions?
thank you very much for the information. We
well, thank
will-
you for your patience and your time.
Thank you.
You ladies have a good night.
Thank you, too.
Okay, we'll move back to the agenda items. We will go to our city administrator, Heather McGuire. Good evening, Heather.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I would like to wish everybody a Happy New Year and welcome back. The report is on file. I have no informations for approval this evening. We will be holding a work session next Monday, January 14th. The current topics include Rayner Pasadena engineering proposal, as well as finalization of the draft sign ordinance. Additional topics are currently being worked on as well. I would be happy to answer any questions this evening.
Any questions of city administrator? Thanks, Heather. Public Works Department, our Director of Public Works, Tom Meggetts. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just one issue this evening. Public Works received notice late Friday afternoon that the Canadian National Railroad was going to be working on the crossing on Gaylord Road. That project begins tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock and is expected to go through Wednesday evening. Access through that crossing will be limited between Gaylord, Division Street, and Caton Farm Road. And the prompting on that is they've received a second incident of track issue that they're concerned about, so they're making a rapid repair on that.
Okay.
Other than that, happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions of Public Works? All right, thanks, Tom. Moving on to Community Development Department, our Economic Development Director, Scott McMaster. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have no agenda items this evening. I do want to point out a typo on the Economic Development Activity Report. On the new commercial businesses, there is a typo in the fourth quarter. It should say 20 instead of 50 for a total year's business of 50 instead of 80. So I do want to point that out and make sure that everybody had the correct information. That is all I have.
Any questions of Economic Development? Okay, thanks, Scott. Police Department, our Police Chief, Ed Clark. Good evening, Ed.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I do not have anything on the agenda this evening. I'd be happy to entertain any questions if you do have any. Your reports are in your package.
I just want to thank you again, Chief. As I started to say before the meeting,
Yeah.
we had an incident the other night, and your officers were very quick to respond, and it's very reassuring that, just minutes away, they come running when we need help. I just want to thank you. It was greatly appreciated by everyone.
Wonderful, I'll
And
pass that
thank
along.
Doug again.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
Mayor's report. On the agenda item, you have a request for a salary increase for the Deputy Liquor Commissioner. This was brought up at the December 10th work session that we had, and with the passing of Vic Pavlich, who was the Liquor Commissioner here for 45 years, and who was mentoring Mike Gale for the last 10 years, and then Mike was assuming the duties and responsibilities for the last 6-8 months when Vic had some serious health issues that he was dealing with at the time. So the way this is set up is that the two liquor commissioners, Vic was making $100 per month, and Mike Gale was receiving a salary of $50 per month as his assistant. And again, with the untimely death of Mr. Pavlich, I would request that we raise Mike Gale's salary to assume the duties and responsibilities of the Deputy Liquor Commissioner from $50 to $100. And with that being said, I will tell you that I feel that I have found a very qualified and credible Crest Hill resident to come in and be mentored by Mike Gale also. And I will have that on the agenda next Monday night for the work session. So my request is that we raise the salary increase of Mike Gale from $50 to $100 per month effective January 1st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Sclair, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal. Questions or comments in regards to the motion?
Yes, Mayor, if I could. Like I mentioned at the work session, and all due respect to you and all due respect to Mr. Gale, I feel it's important that we only have Crest Hill residents as, in these types of positions. I did speak to Mike today, and I do appreciate all the work that he's done, but I feel it's important to stick to my guns and only support a resident of the city to act in these positions.
Anybody else?
I would have to agree with Mr. Albert, although I didn't call Mike. And I've known him since I was a child, and I appreciate as well everything he's done. And I understand the need. I still believe that we should have Crest Hill residents, because we need to have people with skin in the game, who live in the town, who will be going by these places as a course of their everyday life, and participating in everything in the city. And I agree with him, that I think that's important.
Anybody else?
I just want to clarify my motion that we have department heads, they don't live in the city, and we're still giving them big salary, and it's not like it's a new hiree. It's Miguel, it's already working for the city, it's just a hire, he's taking the position of somebody else. That's my comment.
Roll call, please.
Nate Albert,
No.
Tom Inman,
Yes.
Scott Dyke,
Yes.
John Verche,
Yes. Yes.
Tina Oberlin,
No.
Marco Cole Petro,
Yes.
Claudia Gazal,
Yes.
Barbara Scolar,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, I thank you for that, and just to answer those questions that were brought up for the people that are watching us on television. When Mike Gale was appointed, when I became the mayor in 2009, as an assistant deputy liquor commissioner, Mike did live in the city of Crest Hill. He works for the Lockport Township Fire Department. He's a battalion chief. Him and his wife moved out of the city of Crest Hill and over the border, real close, in the city of Joliet, about 3 years ago. At that time, I brought it to city council. They were made aware of the situation. City council, at that time, the majority of the city council voted to retain Mike Gale per my request, because Mike Gale had retained all of the information that was passed along to him from Vic Pavlich. And luckily, when Vic got sick, well, not luckily when Vic got sick, but unfortunately, when Vic got sick, luckily Mike had retained all of the information and was able to carry on the duties and responsibilities of the office for those 9 months. And I understand your concerns in regards to having a resident, and that's why you'll have an individual before you on Monday evening that Mike can certainly mentor and to give all of the information to. But as long as I sit here, we will have two deputy liquor commissioners, because I think that need is very evident. Instead of losing all the information that has been ascertained, we need to pass that information along to the next one. So that's my feelings. I thank those that voted in favor of this for Mike. He has stepped up to the plate and has acted very professionally, has done a great job for the last 10 years. And to the two that voted against it, I will just say that we will have to move forward and respectfully disagree on each one of your thoughts. In regards, since we're talking about liquor, I wanted to bring you up to speed in regards to the liquor licenses that we have for 2019 compared to 2018, and our tobacco licenses. You have copies of all the new liquor licenses. You have the copy of all of the tobacco licenses for 2019. In regards to tobacco, in 2018, we had 22 tobacco licenses. In 2019, we have 20. We lost 2 tobacco licenses. One was the Millennium Vapor that was located on Weber Road, and the second one was Smoke for Less, which was located on Division Street in the strip mall. In 2018, we had 37 liquor licenses. That includes everything from social clubs to taverns to restaurants to bistros to packaged liquors. In 2019, we have 35 liquor licenses currently. We lost 2 over the year period. Bada Brew is now closed. They did not renew their state license at the end of November, and they certainly did not renew their city license January 1st, so they are closed. And also, unfortunately, Friacos closed their doors late in December, I believe, which was located on Renwick Road. So that is why the reduction of 2 in the liquor licenses. In regards to video gaming, in 2018, we had 14 liquor establishments that had video gaming, and in 2019, we have 13, and that one that was lost was through Bada Brew. I do want to commend our police department, who on December 29th, it was a Saturday evening, December 29th, they conducted bar checks at 5 establishments within the boundaries of Crest Hill, and they were looking for underage individuals and any and all violations I am happy to report that all 5 establishments that were visited on December 29th were all in compliance. There were no underage individuals, and all other compliance issues were in order. So, the bar checks will continue through being conducted by the Crest Hill Police Department, the State Police, and the State Liquor Commission. I recommend that continue to be done, and these checks are not planned, so the businesses do not know when we're coming in. So, congratulations to the police department during the New Year's Eve weekend that they went out there and they were able to accomplish that. With that, I don't have anything else unless anybody has any questions of the mayor. Hearing none, we'll move on to the city clerk's report. Our city clerk, Vicki Hackney.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I have nothing on the agenda this evening. Happy New Year to everyone and the residents. Welcome back, everyone. We are back to full staff, as you can see, so I am very pleased. Any questions of the clerk's office, I'd be more than happy to answer.
Questions of the clerk? Thanks, Vic.
Thank you, Ray.
City treasurer's report. Our treasurer, Glenn Conklin. Good evening, Glenn.
Good evening and Happy New Year, Mayor and Council. I'd like to report regular and overtime payroll from December 10th, 2018 through December 23rd, 2018 in the amount of $210,389.95. The only thing I require action on is I seek your approval on the list of bills, which for the same time period total would be $180,687.21.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Dyke, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal for the list of bills. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
John Verche.
Yes.
Barbara Scolera.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Marco Coldi-Petro.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you all. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions of the treasurer? Thanks, Glenn.
Thanks, everybody.
Unfinished business. We have nothing on the agenda. Anybody? New business? Committee liaison reports. Anybody? City council comments. Positive city council comments. Anything you'd like to share with your constituents? We will begin with Ward 1 this evening. Alderman Dyke.
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Alderman Verche.
Nothing.
Ward 2, Alderwoman Sclair.
I would just like to wish everyone a very healthy, happy, and safe New Year.
Alderwoman Gazal.
Just a reminder, tomorrow is back to school, so let's drive safely and use the stop signs. And Happy New Year to everyone.
Ward 3, Alderwoman Overland.
I would also like to wish all the residents of Crest Hill a very happy and healthy new year. And hope you're all looking out for your neighbors.
Alderman Cola DiPietro.
I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year as well, and continue to wish for no snow.
Alderman Albert from Ward 4.
Happy New Year to all, and I'm glad that the Senior Services was able to come out tonight and explain their program. Seems like a fantastic program. Hopefully, there's some volunteers either here tonight or that are watching on TV that would participate in a program like that. Seems like a real good thing to offer the seniors. Thanks, Mayor.
Alderman Inman.
Happy New Year to all, and I hope everybody had a great Christmas holiday, and it was as good as mine. Thank you, Mayor.
Public comment. Anybody would like to address city council, you need to come to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Let the record show that nobody has approached the podium. To our city administrator, Heather, is there a need for an executive session?
None tonight, Mayor.
Motion to adjourn, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion for an adjournment by Alderman Dyke, seconded by Alderman Verche. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Barbara Scolera.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Marco Coldi-Petro.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, meeting is adjourned at 7:44 PM. Thank you and good evening.
Hey, Scott.
Mr. Meyer, I was asked to give this to you.
Can I